What's up, you guys? It's Steve here, and a bill has just passed in the House of Representatives that is now revealing the political strategy that the Democrats have that they are playing in Congress. And this is going to shed a light on why, if you are holding out for fourth federal level stimulus checks, child tax credits, wiping out student loan debt, all of these provisions that were promised over a year ago that it seems like Congress just kind of forgot about, why they still might come to pass. And it could be that Congress is just waiting for just the right time. Now, wait till you see this. You're going to want to stick around for this because it's being revealed with the passage of this bill that just went through. This is your breaking news stimulus check update and stimulus package update. Now, this in no way justifies what they do. There are people that are hurting right now that need these provisions and this assistance, but you're going to be seeing what is going through the mind of Congress and the strategies that they have and why they pass things when they do. As with the CHIPS bill, it has now been revealed that Senator Joe Manchin, he actually has had every intention of passing the stimulus reconciliation bill. That's right, the new Inflation Reduction Act of 2022. He actually has been planning to pass it the entire time. However, they were waiting for just the right time so that way he could get just what he wanted, and he did just that, and he won. Wait till you see this, you guys. Now, this is all being sparked by the passage of the CHIPS bill that went through the Senate and then passed the House yesterday. Go ahead and take a look.
On this vote, the yeas are 243, the nays are 187, one member voting present. The motion is adopted. Without objection, a motion to reconsider is laid upon the table.
So there you have it, you guys. That was yesterday in the House of Representatives. And from that time, now all the strategy has been revealed. And take a look at the headlines that have been coming out. House passes a CHIPS and Science bill, sending that measure back onto Biden's desk. House passes a bill to boost the U.S. chips production and China competition, sending it to Biden. And the House passes a bill to subsidize U.S.-made semiconductor chips in a win for Biden. Now, what we had originally heard was there was actually bipartisan support for this bill. Republicans and Democrats alike both agreed we needed more semiconductor chips in the United States and needed to stop relying on China and all these supply chain issues that are causing problems for us here in the United States. Well, originally there was bipartisan support until Republicans had heard about the reconciliation bill that Democrats were trying to pass. And they said, listen, we don't need any more spending, any more debt. Inflation's out of control. If you're going to pass that reconciliation, partisan, Democrat-only bill, we're not going to support the CHIPS bill. Well, shortly after that, we just sort of heard that Joe Manchin flipped and said, I'm not for reconciliation, we don't have an agreement, and things kind of fell apart. Well, then we saw the CHIPS bill. It actually got support from Republicans after that. They said, okay, Democrats can't agree amongst themselves, we will get on board. And they passed it through. We're hearing that 5 hours after it passed, then suddenly there was presented the Inflation Reduction Act of 2022, and that Manchin and Schumer, out of nowhere, flipped again and had an agreement. And you guys, sounds like Republicans in Congress got played. Let me know your thoughts. The Democrats had every intention of passing it. They just were waiting for just the right time to make sure that they could get exactly what they wanted. And take a look at the headlines, you guys. Getting rolled. McConnell was outfoxed with his own playbook. Did Manchin and Schumer just play Mitch McConnell? Mitch McConnell expels Joe Manchin from the Republican Party. They had been welcoming him to the Republican Party, and now they're saying, what? You played us. Turns out the entire time Joe Manchin was a double agent trying to get exactly what he wanted, and he did. And McConnell assails Manchin's surprise economic deal after Democrats stripped his leverage to block it. So this has passed through, and you guys, you can see some of the strategy that is used in Congress. Now, we're going to be diving into these articles, getting a little bit more into the details of what we can expect to see going forward now. And also, you guys, this is a big indication of how they're handling provisions in Congress, such as fourth federal level stimulus checks, which we're hearing has support of over 80% of the nation. It is the #1 provision to help fight poverty, and a lot of people are calling for it. We've had over 3 million signatures for monthly reoccurring checks. So all these provisions that it seems like they've forgotten about, well, it's very possible that they could be holding out for just the right moment. And we've seen historically that midterm elections is typically when proposals, legislation get passed, they go through, they get pushed, or executive actions. As we're hearing that a lot of these provisions that they're calling for, they don't need support from Congress or legislation. They could be done with executive orders and executive actions by the president just in time to help out people and to help out the Democratic Party right before the elections. Now, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, you guys, but we're going to dive into the details, get you caught up on this, but now you can kind of see some of the strategies that are being played in Congress. Now, if you appreciate the updates, even though, like I said, it is not justified what is being done, people need support, but you appreciate that I'm sharing this with you, that you can get the information as to what's unfolding right now, do me a quick favor, smash the like button. Helps out my channel a ton if you appreciate the content. Also, leave your comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts on all this. Share this out if you think it could help out other people. If this is your first time here and you want to stay up to date, it's totally free. Why not? Come join the Ram fam. All you got to do is very quickly hit the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell. Any specific questions for me, hop onto Instagram, shoot me a DM at SteveRam3. Consider joining my second channel, Steve Ram Finance, and we have over 4,000 people now on the waiting list to receive the comprehensive stimulus checklist of every check across the nation. That's right. A lot of people think that there's only the 3 checks on a federal level. That is not right, you guys. There are so many happening right now, passing all the time, that people don't even know about, which is very sad because in many cases you have to apply, you have to know about it, be eligible, and they're only available for a limited amount of time. And people, we're hearing, are missing out every single day, and the money's just going back to the federal government for them to use however they want. Well, I want to make sure that you do not miss out. I am getting the word out, unlike the government, to make sure that you can get the money that you need. So if you have not already, be sure to go to www.reliefroadmap.com. That is the website I've created. Add your email so you can get added to the list, added to the additional 4,000 people that are currently waiting for the list of every check in the nation. Now, bear with me. I'm working away on this to make sure that you can get access to everything, but it's quite the undertaking. We have been pouring in hours and hours, long days, long nights, early mornings, waking up, getting this taken care of. But you guys, I'm going to get it for you. Just bear with me. Give me patience. It's quite the project, but keep an eye out for that as well. But with that being said, you guys, let's dive into the details as to what's unfolding right now in Congress with the passage of this bill, and we're hearing with the passage of reconciliation and likely the passage of other provisions here very soon. So link in the description below to this article that just came out yesterday that says the House passes the CHIPS and Science bill, sending the measure to Biden's desk. And it says the House passed the $280 billion bill on Thursday to strengthen the domestic chip manufacturing industry and finance scientific research in a bid to boost the United States' competitiveness on a global stage, sending the measure to President Biden's desk for final approval. Now, the legislation titled the CHIPS and Science Act cleared the House in a 243 to 187 and 1 vote. 24 Republicans supported the measure and 1 Democrat voted present. Now, we had originally heard that there was almost full support for this, but the reason why Republicans started voting against it in the House was because they realized they had gotten played in the Senate. Now, it says lawmakers ultimately came to a consensus on the CHIPS and Science Act, which will allocate $54 billion to chips and public wireless supply chain innovations, including $39 billion that will go toward financial assistance to build, expand, and modernize semiconductor facilities in the United States. It also includes $11 billion for research and development by the Department of Commerce. Now, take a look at this article, you guys. McConnell assails Manchin's surprise economic deal after Democrats stripped his leverage to block it, as he had wanted to block this bill, but it looks like, well, they got him. Take a look, you guys. Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell bashed an assent agreement between Senator Joe Manchin of West Virginia and Democratic leaders that revived swaths of their agenda on Wednesday. Democrats have already crushed American families with historic inflation, said the Kentucky Republican on Twitter. Now, they want to pile on giant tax hikes that will hammer workers and kill many thousands of American jobs. The agreement between Manchin and Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer resuscitates various Democratic initiatives that were considered dead only 2 weeks ago. The 725-page bill, titled the Inflation Reduction Act, would empower Medicare to negotiate prescription drugs, extend financial assistance for people to buy Obamacare health insurance, and finance a variety of climate and energy programs to transition the U.S. from fossil fuels. Manchin released a statement announcing the deal less than 5 hours after 17 Senate Republicans, including McConnell, joined the Senate Democrats Democrats to approve the $52 billion bill to strengthen the semiconductor industry. These are the computer chips powering smartphones, medical devices, and other high-tech items facing pandemic-related shortages. So, as you can see, right after they got what they wanted, less than 5 hours later, they made their announcement that they had the other bill and that they were holding out on. Now, McConnell had previously threatened to hold up the semiconductor legislation if Democrats tried advancing their health, climate, and tax bill. The latter measure is getting passed with only Democratic votes in a budget reconciliation process, allowing them to skirt GOP resistance. Let me be perfectly clear. There will be no bipartisan USICA as long as Democrats are pushing a partisan reconciliation bill, McConnell had tweeted about a month ago. Now, Senator John Cornyn of Texas, a confidant of McConnell, sought to downplay the prospect that Manchin and Schumer outmaneuvered Republicans on the so-called CHIPS bill. The Texan Republican was among those who gave it a thumbs up. He said, "I always assumed that if they had the votes to pass reconciliation, they would do so, and there's nothing that we could do to stop them." So kind of downplaying it, but you guys, let me know your thoughts. Looks like Democrats, well, they got the best of Republicans on this one, and they're pushing through what they want. Now, as you can see, this just is an indication of some of the strategies that are played regarding timing for passing legislation. And as we mentioned before, there is a big moment coming up here for elections. And we're going to be seeing what's going to be happening, especially as Biden's approval rating is plummeting, and that usually spells disaster for the president's party, which is the Democrats, which hold the slimmest of majorities in Congress. Now, we will see if things pop up to try to help them out right in time. But that is the latest, you guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, and as more information rolls out, I'll be sure to share it with you here on the channel. And as always, you guys, if you made it this far and you haven't already, don't forget, smash that like button for me. Helps out the channel a ton. Leave your comments, share this out. If you want to stay up to date on passing legislation, stimulus, Congress, the economy, it's totally free. Why not? Come join the Ram fam. Just very quickly hit the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell. Any specific questions for me, shoot them to me in the DM on Instagram at SteveRam3. Consider joining my second channel, Steve Ram Finance, to learn about growing wealth and personal finance. And like I said, keep an eye out for that comprehensive list of state, city, and county checks across the nation so you don't miss out on anything. But with that being said, you guys, once again, thank you so much for joining me, and I will catch you in the next one. Take care. God bless. This is Steve.